Well, hello there, guys. We are going to be starting the stream very soon here. So just give us about 2 to 3 minutes and we will get this up and running. All right, guys. So once again, we will be getting started very soon here. We're just kind of setting up so that we know where we stand, basically. And we'll go ahead and jump in here in a few minutes at least. We're actually about a minute away from the stream itself, so we will let a few more people arrive. And welcome anybody who's just gotten here. We are going to be playing some Flashpoint campaigns, Red Storm. Probably one of my favorite games. I've only been playing it for the last 3 days, but I'm absolutely loving it. So I decided to go ahead and get a stream going on it. Not to mention it's 50% off. So if anybody's looking for a deal, now is the time to get it. Hey, Dogs of War. I believe it is. I could be mistaken. I think my other colleague might be here, but I'm supposed to be the only colleague here right now. I do believe it's on the Matrix store. If you look down in the description, it should already be on the Matrix store for 50% off, but I could be wrong. Okay, so there we go. The stream has begun, and of course, we're going to be playing as NATO right here, guys. Let's go with Tescori. So we'll definitely be playing as the Allies, and we're going to be playing a single scenario, not an entire campaign game. In fact, I might go for the campaign game just because it actually has a really good starting sort of mission. Well, hold on. I want to be player 1 NATO commander. I guess here I don't get to select anyway. I have to be the NATO commander. So we're going to play the Hell on Wheels campaign. And this is where basically the enemy has crossed the border. It's the Cold War has begun. The Cold War has gone hot, and the enemy's crossing the border. We're playing as NATO, of course. Now, I'm definitely going to take off enemy units, and markers are always visible. We don't want to allow, basically, the fog of war has to exist. If the fog of war doesn't exist, it's not really worth playing. So we're going to proceed here. And of course, we are playing with NATO. And first things first. So right now our briefing is that the Soviet Union has crossed the border between East and West Germany. The year is 1989, July 20th of 1989, and near the town of Bad Neustadt, West Germany. The attack has been concealed by months of diplomatic maneuvering by the Soviet Union to get the world to believe it was pulling its combat forces out of Germany and promoting unification. Now, of course, that's not what happened, and now we need to go ahead and basically deal with the enemy. So what we're going to do is, first of all, go ahead and set up our defenses. We've got a lot of decent tanks here. These are M1A1 Abrams tanks, definitely ready to put some hurting on the enemy. And I'm going to be putting these guys on the corners here of Buchholz. Buchholz is our main village, or maybe it's a town. It's actually, I think, Buchholz and Steinbeck, maybe two parts of the same town. Nonetheless, we need to go ahead and send some men there, but we also need some defenses in other parts. Now, first, I'm just going to bring a bunch of men over, and then we'll, of course, set them up however the hell we want. A few of these are basically just APC platoon units. They do occasionally have ATGMs, so they can take out enemy tanks. For those of you that don't know what an ATGM is, that's an anti-tank guided missile, and that's definitely something to consider. And as PUM said, it's really a good time if you guys enjoy this sort of gameplay to go ahead and head to the site, head to the Matrix site, 50% off. It's definitely a bargain. Of course, you're going to get a Steam version as well. This game is on Steam. But first things first, what I'm doing right now, guys, I'm just trying to do the setup phase correctly. And to do that, we've got to get all of our units over here into the center, and then of course we'll begin the battle. And I think the Soviets are going to be on the move pretty quickly, to be honest with you. They generally like to move pretty damn quickly. So let's go ahead, we'll take some of these tanks. First tank, I'm going to put them down here. This tank, and this is a scout tank as well. We're going to put them up here, a veteran, as well as an M577A2. That might be the actual scout vehicle that's assisting this tank here. And let's go ahead and put this tank right here with the Jeep. Put this unit, oh, that's right, fair enough. So it's locked, we can't move that guy. But we could certainly move some of these tanks a little bit closer to the front lines. We do want the tanks to be able to open fire on any enemies approaching this village. But at the same time, you know, we also have to keep in mind, we've got villages here to the north as well. We've got villages to the south, specifically Holm-Schupensen. Hope I'm saying that correctly. So I think we're going to go to Holm-Schupensen here. I'm going to drop a tank right down here. I'm also going to drop some infantry units over here to basically just defend the area. And remember, these infantry units, not all of them, but quite a few of them are able to fire anti-tank guided missiles. They can obviously fire small arms fire to destroy other enemy infantry units. But right now, we're just trying to get everybody close, everybody ready for some action. And we'll probably be starting off with pure defense. You know, a lot of the times you can go ahead and start moving right away in this game. In this particular part of the game, this initial mission, I'm probably going to be moving very, very slowly. Height elevation looks great on the maps. Yes, it does. Okay, so I also love the destruction that happens to cities once you're hitting them, once you're striking them. So here we go. I'm actually going to move one of these tanks over here. I'm going to move a few of these units, just basically around where the tanks are, so that if any enemies attack us, we'll be returning fire for sure. And as you can see, some of these guys have Bradleys in them, M2A1 Bradleys, so they do have tanks, but not as powerful as the M1A1 Abrams. They can definitely hold up, though, most of the time in a fight. Let's go ahead and bring this in as well. We're also going to be getting some artillery support later on in the mission, although that takes a while. Hey, Dally, how you doing, man? Good to see you here. Yes, I'm liking these newer maps as well, PUM. These are actually in one of the campaigns that's available in the game, one of the first NATO campaigns. So it's definitely something, if you want to take a look at that, to go ahead and get the game, pick it up, and check out the NATO campaign. So usually when I play this map, at least when I first played this map, I put all of my units in Buchholz. But then when I realized that the enemy was also going to attack down here in the south, I'm kind of doing something a little bit different here, but we're going to end the turn. And the way this game works, it's a we go system. So we haven't actually sent any of our units out to attack. I might go ahead and select just the chopper unit, and I'm just going to go ahead and move deliberately over here and then back to Buchholz just to try and catch some enemy units. Why not? And now we're going to start. And again, it's a we go system. We're staying put. The enemy, the Soviets, are going to be the ones advancing. Let's see what happens, my friends. Oh, we already see some Soviets. We already spotted a few south of the river. And there we go. We already got one hit. And we destroyed one BRDM. And if you guys can find out what a BRDM stands for, you get a cookie. Once again, another ATGM launch, an anti-tank guided missile. We destroyed a BMP. So 3 enemy vehicles so far on the Soviet side have been destroyed, and it's mostly our armored infantry that's been doing most of the killing here, our APC platoons, which is really good. It means we're not wasting any ammo with our tanks. 2 BMPs killed right there. I'm loving it. This is very, very cool so far. All right, here we go. Opening fire once again on the BRDM. And these Soviets just kind of waltzed into town thinking we wouldn't have anything to show for it, thinking we wouldn't stop them. But of course we're going to stop them. We just destroyed a headquarters unit, and he's actually in a Gaz-66. A Gaz-66 is just basically a regular sort of transport supply truck, whatever you want to call it. Battlefield conditions have changed to dawn, haze, fog, max visibility, 2,500 meters. That's more than enough to get some hits here. We're going to keep on fighting. Another beautiful hit, and this time I think we took out some tanks, guys. 3 T-80 BVs. That's unbelievable. So T-80 tank is a pretty nice one, I mean, especially for the Russians. And taking out 3 of them definitely shows that we're doing okay so far. As you can see, our chopper is coming back to Buchholz. We got a mechanized rifle kill. I mean, we are just really smashing the Soviets right now. I don't think they expected much of a resistance, but we showed them for sure. Another hit there on the tanks. 3 T-80s. That's 6 T-80s throughout the entire first part of the mission, which is excellent. Really, really good odds. And of course, our tank he can't help but fire at the Gaz. 2 headquarters, 1 BRDM-2, 1 Gaz 66. Damn, that is tough. That's hardcore, man. I actually want to see what a BRDM-2 looks like. And let's take a nice look here at the vehicles that we are blowing to bits. So these are the ones we're killing right now. Another anti-tank guided missile launch. And this one actually seemed to miss. It looks like they actually managed to kill one of our mechanized rifles. This is, of course, amazing that this unit has managed to get so many kills on the enemy tanks, but just goes to show you that a lot of our units are very well trained, although this one is getting hit pretty damn hard. I must admit that. We just lost a Bradley tank. Another ATGM launched by the enemy. Another ATGM launched by the enemy. I mean, both of us have anti-tank guided missiles, and we are using them to their full capacity. Don't be too confident the Soviets could be vicious. Oh, they are, believe me. And it's very hard for them to give up. It seems, at least in the experiences I've had in this game, what seems to happen is the Soviets are able to lose a lot more men than you are. So you can actually win this game one of two ways. That is, of course, having more victory points than the enemy. You could see a bunch of victory point locations around the map, or destroying so many of the enemy's men that they can't fight. And I think that's 70% or more of their army. And believe me, I have destroyed huge amounts of Soviets and still haven't won the battle. 6 more shall take its place. Exactly, Battle Rabbit. He is exactly right. You kill 1, 6 more take its place easily. And right now with their ATGM launcher, they're actually getting some pretty nice hits on our men. They've completely wiped out our mechanized infantry unit, at least one group of them. And that's quite a lot of them. And as you can see, they just got a hit here on a Bradley. Managed to kill it. So they've got some infantry supporting them there, because the actual tanks themselves are not armed with ATGMs. They use just their regular turret gun, but they do have some infantry there. So we got another T-80, not bad. But they're going to fire another ATGM. We got very lucky that time and actually got some nasty hits on the BMP-2 PGs. It's one bold defensive line indeed, Van Bishop, but the Soviets can certainly break it. And we'll take a look here. Another thing I love about this game is the units left on the field after a battle. So we'll take a close-up look at that. I love being able to see the casualties I've caused, and I also love seeing the damage to the environment. And this game absolutely has both of those. So that's one really great thing. As you can see, you can also see the weather over here. It's dawn, clear, visual is 3,500 meters. Minerals, no. Yes, it does, Alien Gold. I think if I'm not mistaken, I think every single one of our games, if you buy it, well, if it has a Steam copy, if you buy it on the Matrix store, you can absolutely use the key in Steam and also install it there. Yup, thank you, Dogs of War. Absolutely true. So I would highly recommend picking it up. It's 50% off now, and this is one of many different battles you could play. This is actually the beginning of one of the campaigns. So there we go. We got a lot of kills there on those tanks. But they're definitely trying to march into town right now, guys. All right, now we're actually going to be able to take a look at the damage done to the surrounding terrain. You can see the enemy's firing artillery to the left of Sepenspach. Trying to hit our units, and over here they might actually succeed. But this also damages the town, and it goes to show you the difficulties of modern warfare, where you could easily kill civilians, on accident, just by firing artillery in the wrong area. I mean, I'm sure this area has got a lot of civilians in it, and those artillery strikes, they're definitely going to drive some of them out of the city, or maybe even kill a few of them. And it's unfortunate, but it's the horrors of war, really. There we go, a beautiful hit on their tank. We've got to get some kills there. 4 T-80s, guys. 4 T-80s. You've got to love the M1A1 Abrams. It's just such a powerful tank. And we're also hitting the rest of these guys. 1 BRDM. We're just annihilating this line of Soviets trying to get into our town. Just imagine, had the Cold War gone hot like this, things would be crazy. I really believe that. Another gas truck destroyed. And another vicious hit there on the enemy tank. 5 T-80s, my God, guys. And that was an infantry unit, well, a mechanized infantry unit. Nonetheless, 5 T-80 tanks. And the T-80 tank is nothing to scoff at. It's not a bad tank at all. I mean, are our tanks more advanced? Probably. But let's take a look here at the T-80 so you guys can get a look. See what we're destroying here. We're killing a lot of these T-80s. If we could wipe out all of them, that would be great. But the problem is they've got way more T-80s than we do M1A1s. Probably something like 7 to 1. So we need to be very careful with our tanks as well. There's another T-80 down. 3 T-80s down. Oh, I'm loving this. Don't forget, guys, if you're enjoying the game, you can buy the game on our Matrix site and also get a Steam copy. Just follow the link below our Next Up Flashpoint campaigns thing there. You can actually take a look at the link, and it will take you where you need to go. Their ATGM launch. Nice shooting, boys. 1 BMP down. And another ATGM launch. We got another BP and a headquarters division. They return with an ATGM launch at us, but you can see that our infantry is doing a pretty good job at stopping the enemy here. Despite them having a ton of tanks, we're actually managing to sort of hold our line. I'm actually going to pause temporarily here. The turn should be ours very soon. But one thing that I love about this game that I had to show off is the detail. So if we get close here, you can actually see those burning vehicles over here, the red squares with smoke coming out of them. Those represent the Soviet vehicles that have been destroyed. And each vehicle you destroy in the game, you will actually find basically, you know, the vehicles lying on the road, etc. And over here, if you see crosses, that represents infantry units. And also, you can see the artillery strikes here. Just imagine being in one of these houses. You would not be in a very happy place. Over here, you can see we got a tremendous amount of kills on the enemy. Just a ton of BMPs, a ton of T-80 tanks. And I just love, I don't know if you guys agree with me, but I absolutely love being able to see what I've destroyed on the map. Over here, we can actually see which of our units have been destroyed. And honestly, the eastern side of this town is not a place I'd want to be. It'd be very, very dangerous to be in one of these houses, having to deal with shrapnel from shells, or maybe just the shockwave itself. It's going to be a tough one. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to continue, of course. But I just wanted to show you guys that. It's one of my favorite actual parts of the game, besides just the incredible strategy aspect of it. That, to me, is really neat. And here we go. And yes, PUM is right. I have to close the office today. I'm terrified. I'm not a good closer of office doors, amongst other things. So here we go. It's 3 minutes to our orders. And, of course, then we can decide if we want to do anything. Another ATGM launch, another BMP down. We're getting some great shots here, guys, on enemy BMPs. Also, if you're watching us on YouTube, we're actually streaming this on 2 platforms right now. Basically, we're streaming this on YouTube and on Twitch. So if you're on YouTube, swing over to Twitch, take a look. You can obviously stay on YouTube if you'd like. But I'm just curious to see how many people are watching us there. In fact, let me look myself. Shame on me for asking you guys. Let's take a look here, and let me see if I can see the YouTube live stream. Because I'm just looking at the Twitch one right now. but we are trying to stream 2 places at once. Come on, lads. Hold on. Don't retreat. Oh, cool. General Mayhem, the Liar Fox, Storm King. Hey, everybody. So we do have a lot of people watching on YouTube as well. Very cool, guys. So we're getting them on both of these platforms. So 9 plus 26. Somebody give me a count here. Not bad at all. So we're going to proceed here. Double the chances of malfunctions. Exactly. We always like to push our limits, but actually it's not too bad. We're using a certain streaming software which allows us to do this. There we go. Nice shot by the tank. And once again, look at how many more tanks there are in that burned out area. Just a bunch of Soviet tanks. You can see the Soviets have taken a pounding, and they're not even in the city yet. So are we winning? I think we're winning, but there's a lot more to go than just one tiny turn. Okay, guys, so now it's our turn. American orders phase is about to begin. Oops, sorry about that. There we go. So I am not really going to move too many of these guys. The only guys I'm going to be moving are probably the chopper to get a closer shot on the enemy. So I will move the helicopter here. I'll also move forward with this unit right here. But this unit is actually an anti-air unit, and we don't have any enemy units that we need to worry about. It's a Chaparral. Actually, the Chaparral might be, sorry guys, I might be wrong on that. The Chaparral might be an artillery unit. We also will be receiving artillery from the west over here very soon. We don't have it right now, but it will be coming in the second part of the battle. And remember, these battles can last a very, very long time. So that's one thing to keep in mind. We'll take this guy right here and move deliberately over to where the enemy is as well. And once again, we're keeping our guys more or less in the same location. I don't see any reason for moving them. They've got a pretty nice setup. I will, however, move this unit deliberately over here. And we'll proceed. And we're just going to hold. We're not going to screen or do anything like that. We're not going to get fancy. Just going to hold. However, I will also take this tank group of tanks right here. We're going to move him here. So I said I wasn't going to move anyone, but I actually lied because there are a lot of tanks coming in over here. And if we just look at the minefield, and it wasn't the mines that destroyed most of these tanks, it was the good shooting from our infantry and our tank divisions. Look at all those Soviet tanks. If I were a group of Soviet tanks driving into that, I think I would risk going to the Gulag and just get the hell out of there, because that is bad news for me, obviously. Well, bad news for the enemy in this case. So let's go ahead and get started again. Let's hope that our M1A1 Abrams, these extremely awesome tanks, are going to do okay. Now, as you can see, we only have 4 in this platoon. We've got 2 in this platoon. We've also got a few Bradleys, about 4 Bradleys and some veteran APCs. But, you know, to hold off an entire Soviet tank army, it's going to be tough. Let's get started, guys. Let's hope for the best. All right, so they're delayed by the minefield. That helps us out big time. And we just got a shot on them. It may have actually been the mine that got them to be destroyed. Now, anytime you want, you can hit that pause button, not just to review the field, but also to look at the TAC Ops diary to give you kind of an idea of how things work here. So, for instance, our 41st Infantry Regiment was trying to hit the T-80, and yes, they can kill T-80s. It's just very rare. They do have anti-tank guns, but you have to look at distance, you have to look at height, etc. In this case, the actual infantry unit only had a 3% chance of hitting that T-80, so it's a very, very small chance. And as you can see, they just killed one of our Bradleys. It's going to be tough to get over, but hopefully we just keep on fighting. So that's actually a good question from Piddles and Squishy, and I'm going to try to do my best because, again, I'm quite new to this game, but I believe S stands for stationary. The reason I think S stands for stationary is because if you press reinforce, which is one of the possibilities, or resupply, that S will change to an R. So I believe S is stationary. Again, I could be wrong, but again, it's definitely, this is a very new game to me, so I'm learning things myself. The 2 on the left, or the 7 on the left, represents how many units of that particular type are in that brigade, squadron, whatever. And it might also have something to do on the right with the stacks, but again, I'm not 100% sure on this. Maybe we get somebody here that knows the game better than I do and can kind of give a sort of rundown for these counters. Oh, 1 cavalry scout and 2 M3A1 Bradleys destroyed. These Soviets are doing pretty good now, guys. We just lost another Bradley. We need our tanks to step up their game. There we go. Finally got a T-80, but I'm annoyed we didn't manage to get more there. Enemies firing more anti-tank guided missiles, and they managed to kill another Bradley. Now, the Bradley against the Abrams, I mean, there's no difference. The Abrams is much better, but the Bradley's generally used with these infantry groups, etc., and it's pretty cool. So here we go, guys. Still trying to break in. These Soviets are definitely trying to get in. And we just got a nice ATGM launch on that Soviet tank group. 2 T-80 BVs are down. We're getting a lot of kills with these T-80 BVs, guys. We've got to keep this up. Another anti-tank guided missile. And if we could wipe out that division entirely, that would make my day. So we wiped out one of these Soviet tank divisions. There's still a few of them left, but we're definitely hitting them with a lot of firepower. And if we could just lay waste to them, we're going to be in a much better space. And there we go, artillery strike from the Soviets. They're probably going to kill some civilians with that artillery strike. Another artillery strike from the Soviets, but we're nowhere to be found in this area. So they're firing in the wrong area, unfortunately for them, but fortunately for us. Not so fortunate for the poor people living in this area. Anti-tank guided missile launch from the Soviet infantry. And again, most of these infantry units that you're seeing, these are mechanized infantry units. So that usually means an infantry unit within an APC or a BTR, something like this. They can, of course, be deployed, but a lot of this game, or a large part of this game, is armored combat. Of course, infantry absolutely plays a role, but you see a lot of those ATGMs being fired. And this is because modern warfare has a ton of armored combat in it, as you could probably imagine. And this is fairly modern warfare for sure. So there is going to be a lot of armor. There are going to be some infantry fights as well, of course. But a large part of the game is this armored combat. So if you're a fan of tanks, that sort of thing, you're going to love this stuff. So there we go. I think we just destroyed another division of enemy tanks. We got one of the T-80 BVs. And there's only one left in that stack. There might be another one beneath him. I'm not seeing him. But there definitely might be another one in that actual stack. Ooh, nice shot. I think they just got another Bradley. Yep, sure enough. And I guess since the Bradleys are kind of there on the edge of the village, it's not the safest place for them to be, but we can't exactly put our best tanks there in front of everyone. And there we go. 3 9P149 AT-6 spirals. I don't even know what those are, but I'm sure the AT is not good. Definitely some sort of anti-tank unit, and we just destroyed it. There we go. Nice little hit. And look at how many Soviet vehicles are there. Wait a minute. We've got to pause. We have to look at that. That is too cool. Just like I told you, these things stack up, which I love. So the Soviets have tried to break into the eastern part of Buchnolz, and look at how many vehicles they have here that are just burning. It's unbelievable. I mean, they just have maybe, 20, 30 vehicles just sitting around here, burning, smoking, and at the same time, this guy right here, the veteran APC, he's still going to keep on moving forward. If he doesn't, he's going to have to answer a lot of questions back home. So maybe death over dishonor type thing, or more importantly, probably death over torture, because he knows he's going to be headed to the gulag if he retreats. He can't do that. It is 1989, so of course the wall should be coming down any day now, but this is a sort of alternative history, and anything could happen. So we are using the Hell on Wheels division. I'm going to keep guys basically how they are because it's not even our turn yet. We're going to go ahead and check the fight out once again. Is the manual a separate download? It's not, unfortunately. But obviously when you buy the game, it's got a very hefty manual. You can absolutely take a look. I'm sure you could find it. I would think you could find it. Maybe just go look at the store page and sort of read through that. But I'm not sure. I really don't know the answer to that question, my friend. Alien Gold, Soviet Doctrine, absolutely, absolutely. Just overwhelming power, or not firepower, just overwhelming power. Just try to send in as many men as you can and break the line. That is the way the Soviets seem to work. There we go, nice hit with the ATGM. We took out 2 BMPs. We're just going to add to that huge group of burning vehicles. Thanks, Piddle. I think you'll like it. I think if you like these kind of games, this sort of operational level strategy, you're going to enjoy it very much. I was surprised. I'm usually not that into operational level strategy, things like Command, which I find personally to be a great game, but very complicated, and it was very hard for me to even learn the basics. But with this game, even though I have a lot left to learn, I'm actually able to enjoy myself. I'm able to set up missions, and I love the look of the map. It's just me. Love seeing the artillery, the burning vehicles, the crosses, which represent dead infantry units. It just adds so much to the game for me. Besides, I'm a huge Cold War buff, so that's another reason. Manual is on Steam. There we go. So you can definitely take a look. Thank you, Alien Gold. So you could take a look at the manual, see if you want to buy the game. And then don't forget, if you buy it on the Matrix site where you're going to get that 50% off, you won't get the 50% off Steam, guys. Please understand that. When you go to Matrix site and get the 50% off, you're also going to get a Steam key. So you can load it on both platforms, obviously. So I highly recommend you guys go take a look. And there we go. Some more ATGMs, I believe. Look at all those burning Soviet tanks. How have they not just retreated at this point? It's not worth it, guys. It's not worth it. Just give up. We've got a better life for you over here. We've got TVs. And we've got cassette players. Remember, this is 1989. Thank you, Dally. So T is for tracked, R for rotary, Humvee, W for wheeled. Very cool, Dally. Thank you. Okay, we just took a nasty hit there. One Bradley and one mechanized rifle unit killed in action. I'm trying not to lose the mechanized rifle units. They're actually impressing me, really, really impressing me in the way they're doing. And this may have to go up on the Agrippa Maxenius channel. I mean, I am loving this game. I really am. I mean, it's the kind of game I could sit for, and I have sat for hours playing, just to try and see how many Soviet kills I can get. Now, I've actually won this particular mission already, but this is one of the first campaign missions, so I'm not patting myself on the back. I mean, as you guys can probably tell in this mission, there's not a lot of places for the Soviets to hide, and we actually get a tremendous amount of support as the mission progresses. Eventually you get some artillery support, which really helps. I don't think we have it yet. We also get some tank support, stuff like that, but I really feel like it is important to watch all sides. As you can see, just look at that. Just massive amounts of dead tanks and infantry units. Pretty awesome there. And over here, just a ton of tanks over here. Tanks, APCs, some of them trying to cross this bridge. Not very lucky tanks, I must say. If you guys take a look at these little squares, these represent minefields. So anytime a unit moves into these minefields, I'm not sure if they actually can take damage. I think they can, but I know more importantly that they're delayed for 30 minutes while the minesweepers come in and clear everything up. And during that time, you can get a whole bunch of kills. So far, we're holding the most important areas. I do want to move this unit into where the victory point is. Let's go ahead and dig in. And let's see what else. I think that's all we're going to do for now. We actually don't see any Soviets approaching from the north here. We do have a Humvee, which is considered a scout vehicle. Maybe that's what the S would be for scout. The scout vehicle can actually see a lot of the enemy movement. So I think we would probably have seen some tanks had they come up here from the north, but they probably want to show up here anyway. I mean, there are points to be grabbed up here. There are points to be grabbed right there in Debrecen, and we're basically just holding the center. But anything could happen at this point. So I might even move this tank down to deal with these enemy tanks, but I think that might be a mistake. What I will do is I will take this chopper and go ahead and move towards the tanks. He does have missiles that are capable of taking these guys out. S is for screen. Thank you, Van Bishop. All right, let's get started here, guys. Let's hope for the best. 15 minutes of game resolution about to commence. You bet. Keep up the good work, guys. You can do this. All right, there we go. So our helicopter is trying to fire. Come on, tank. All right, nice little hit there. Another BRDM destroyed. I'm really more concerned, though, about those tanks. I couldn't care less about their APCs. We can deal with them later. Anti-tank guided missile launch. We're okay. Just barely missed our Bradley there. And there we go, guys. As you can see on the far left of the map, we just got some reinforcements, some tank reinforcements. Those are going to help tremendously. We just got some artillery reinforcements as well, so we can use that to just bomb the heck out of the enemy. The artillery is pretty accurate in this game, which I really love. As you can see, the battlefield conditions have changed to dawn, haze, fog, max visibility 1,500 meters. Now, on a battlefield like this, 1,500 meters is actually not very far. Remember, last turn we had 2,500 meters, so 1,500 meters, we've got to be pretty close to the enemy to be able to get any hits. So we just got an ATGM launch on one of their tanks. We actually took out another T-80 with the anti-tank guided missile. I love that weapon. Maybe this is actually going to work out for us because they're not going to see us until they get very close to the town. And at that point, they're probably within anti-tank guided missile range, which obviously, as you can imagine, is very bad news for the enemy. Thank you, Van Bishop. Very cool. All right, nasty little shot there on my poor infantry. My APC platoon. And as you can see, we've got some more artillery coming in. I feel really bad for the people living on the east side of town. It doesn't look like a very safe time for them, unfortunately. All right, now they're actually starting to hit our targets. Looks like our tank didn't take any damage, so we got very lucky there. We also destroyed another BMP that the enemy had. I'm loving these locations for our tanks. I think we're in the area of the town, the best area, basically just the entrance road to set up these units, and we should have probably kept the infantry a little farther back because the Bradleys are getting smashed But I don't really know what else we could have done with them. So they just took out one of our heavy machine gun units. Keep it up, boys. Keep it up. There we go. Two BRDMs destroyed and yet another enemy scout vehicle destroyed. Although now they're opening fire on our Abrams. 2 Abrams? No, it's M5s. So we have 2 Abrams and 1 M577A2. And I have no idea what an M577A2 is. Let's go to Wikipedia. Okay, so it's an armored personnel carrier. So those must be sort of a scout, maybe some sort of scout unit that's able to see farther than the Abrams. I'm just guessing. I could be wrong. You can see over here that the Russians are now in town. Now, this is definitely scary. We've got to do something about this. And they're doing some serious damage to our Bradleys. We've got to hope that our Abrams can hold up and actually stand against these guys, put up a pretty good fight. It's not going to be easy. Okay, so as you can see, a suspected enemy HQ has been located at 4608. Now, you could actually use your artillery to strike that area and try to destroy them. Generally, I don't do that, especially if I'm in sort of like an upfront battle like we are right here. I might just go ahead and deal with the enemy units first, but obviously destroying an enemy HQ, it's going to hurt them in a bunch of different ways, not to mention a tremendous amount of morale damage to the enemy itself. So that's definitely something you want to keep in mind. All right, ATGM launched. The Bradley got destroyed, but they got a nice little bit of revenge. And let's see how many tanks they took out. 4 T-80s. And that's a Bradley, guys. That is an infantry fighting vehicle, essentially, with anti-tank guided missiles and infantry, mounted infantry. And they actually managed to take out 4 of those tanks of the T-80s. A T-80 is nothing to laugh at. It might not be as strong as an Abrams if you put them up against each other, but if you've got 10 T-80s attacking one Abrams, that Abrams is toast. So really, really nice move there by the guys. Gotta love those guys. They did an excellent job. Mechanized rifle engaging at about 510 meters. And actually, some of our artillery is going to fire on their own. You can actually select this before the game. They're firing in the wrong area, so you can obviously call in the strikes by yourself. And you can actually pick a option where you let the AI essentially pick your location if you want them to, of course. Generally, I like to pick it myself, but it helps like when you forget to pick an artillery location or when your guys just get on the field. It does help somewhat, although sometimes the AI doesn't know where the enemy is, and they just sort of make a guess, an educated guess, usually an educated guess, and they try to get them themselves. So there we go. They've actually cleared out the K83 highway there. The enemy has finally pushed through, although not without losing a ton of men. So I have to give them some respect. I mean, that's pretty good. It's a pretty decent job they've done. Come on, boys. Destroy the last of their tanks. Anti-tank guided missile launch. Come on. Looks like it flew right over the enemy. And I'm assuming that getting an ATGM to work in a city is a lot harder than getting an ATGM to work out in an open field, obviously. I'm sure the buildings are not great for these kind of missiles, but as you can see, we just destroyed 2 BRDMs outside the city, of course. But yeah, definitely looks like the enemy is making it into Buchholz. I think we can stop them, but we've got to be careful here. So 1 minute, guys, to our orders, of course, and then we can take a look at all of the damage that has been done here. I definitely think, if we had continued fighting here, we definitely could stand a chance at getting a victory. We've destroyed a ton of enemy armor. Of course, it's not just about destroying enemies, although that's one of the ways to win. It's also about taking victory points. So eventually we might have to leave the town if we can hold out long enough and move a little closer towards the enemy units. There's 3 T-80s, by the way, destroyed again. And we're going to destroy even more. 1 T-80, so 4 just in that group right there. I mean, our tanks, our Abrams are excellent at getting these shots off. It looks like our Humvee is going to try to fight a BRDM. I don't think it's going to go well for the Humvee, but at least he finally spotted some Soviets there in the north. Okay, guys, resolution phase is now over. The American orders phase is about to begin. So, guys, we're not going to do another turn because that would actually take a little too long, but I do hope you guys enjoyed this look at the game. I am loving this game. And let's just take a quick look at the amount of damage the Soviets took here. I mean, wow, a lot of damage east of Buchholz. As you can see, there's also a ton of artillery damage in the town. I still think it would be possible to destroy these guys. We've got plenty of units over here. A veteran APC squadron with some Bradleys. Over here, we've got an elite recce section. A recce, of course, is basically recon. But they actually have a Bradley, 2 Bradleys, which are both capable of killing these T-80s, although it's hard to pierce their armor for sure. It's not as hard to pierce their armor when you've got a beautiful Abrams. So I might go ahead and send this guy up north or just send him to the location over here where we've lost some men. We haven't gone without losses either. You can see those blue burning vehicles. Those are, of course, NATO vehicles. But for the most part, even if we look over here to the village at Schierhorn on the East German side of the map, you can see we've done a lot of damage here to these guys, a lot of damage. And I think if this battle continued, it would really just come down to how long can we stick around and how long can we stay in the battle and take out more of the enemy than they take out of us. I mean, generally, kill counts matter a lot, especially in Cold War fighting. But just as important as kill points are these victory points, which are very, very important. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this game. This is a game I really, really love. I'd love to actually put it up on our Matrix channel, our Slytherin channel as a Let's Play series. So if you guys would like that to happen, make sure to go to either channel and let us know there that you'd like to see it. I want to thank everybody for showing up to the stream. I really appreciate you guys stopping in, and I hope you guys had fun. Don't forget, 50% off this game if you go to the Matrix website. The link is in the description, so I would highly recommend you guys go there. And yes, you will get a Steam copy if you buy it on the Matrix website. Either way, you get a Steam copy, so I would definitely take a look. Thank you, Dogs of War. I appreciate it. And glad you enjoyed it, man, and glad the rest of you guys enjoyed it too. And thanks, Cruiser. Very cool. So we're going to try and do some more Red Storm in the future because I have a lot of fun playing it. I think you guys enjoy watching it, and maybe we'll try some different missions. Maybe next time we will be the mighty, glorious Red Army. Who knows? Thank you so much, guys. Take care, and have a wonderful weekend. Ciao.